I feel the master. I feel them. Y'all ready? They ready? Well, come on. Well, come on. Y'all ready? They ready? We ready? We ready? Come on. We ready? We ready? Come on. Grand folks. Break grand folks. Break grand folks. Break grand folks. Come we ready? We ready? We ready? Come on. We ready? Ain't no question about who the best. They sing gon' lay the track and art to come to do the rest. Step in the way, multiple shots are going through your chest. You must have gone past the charges, boy, you was blessed. And I'ma take them out the game, y'all. It ain't no thing, y'all. You wanna buck, I rip you up like a chainsaw. The game's wrong, boy, please believe it. Keep your Bible with you, cause you won't be needing Jesus. Feeding for dark, topping hits. And Archie ain't gon' stop dropping shit. I'ma make $1 million then stand on the top of it. Rocking it till the day I die in this game. Archie with the fact, boy, adding the fire to the flame. What's up? I'm country boy, you said something. If you're ready, why you stumbling to the flow? Huh? If you're ready, why you stuttering? I ain't Joe. I'ma show 'em why they call us dirty. There is no mercy, no player haters, cause he ain't worthy. Heard of me then? Hell no, but boy, I bet you done heard of me now. I feel the master. I feel them. Y'all ready? They ready? Well, come on. Well, come on. Y'all ready? They ready? We ready? We ready? Come on. We ready? We ready? Come on. Grand folks. Break grand folks. Break grand folks. Break grand folks. Come we ready? We ready? We ready? Come on. We ready? Ain't no question about who the best. They sing gon' lay the track and art to come to do the rest. Step in the way, multiple shots are going through your chest. You must have gone past the charges, boy, you was blessed. And I'ma take them out the game, y'all. It ain't no thing, y'all. You wanna buck, I rip you up like a chainsaw. The game's wrong, boy, please believe it. Keep your Bible with you, cause you won't be needing Jesus. Feeding for dark, topping hits. And Archie ain't gon' stop dropping shit. I'ma make $1 million then stand on the top of it. Rocking it till the day I die in this game. Archie with the fact, boy, adding the fire to the flame. What's up? I'm country boy, you said something. If you're ready, why you stumbling to the flow? Huh? If you're ready, why you stuttering? I ain't Joe. I'ma show 'em why they call us dirty. There is no mercy, no player haters, cause he ain't worthy. Heard of me then? Hell no, but boy, I bet you done heard of me now. Atlanta, Georgia, where the dirty been found. See, I done did this since my younger days. Only 16, but my back is never underage. So let's get paid, cause I stay ready for the keys. And you is crazy if you think that you ready for me. So who's ready now? Who's ready now? Who's ready now? that boy locking it down.
Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head? And this is where I grew up. I think the president owner fixed it up. I never knew we ever went without. The second floor is hot for sneaking out. And this is where I went to school. Most of the time had better things to do. Criminal record says I've broken twice. I must have done it half a dozen times. I wonder if it's too late. Should I go back and try to graduate? Life's better now than it was back then. If I was them, I wouldn't let me in. Oh God, every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Every memory of walking out the front door. I found the photo of the friend that I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Remember the old arcade? Blew every dollar that we ever made. The cops seen us hanging out. They say somebody went and burned it down. We used to listen to the radio and sing along with every song we know. We said someday we'd find out how it feels to sing to more than just a steering wheel. Kim's the first girl I kissed. I was so nervous that I nearly missed. She's had a couple of kids since then. I haven't seen her since God knows when. Oh God. Every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Every memory of walking out the front door. I found the photo of the friend that I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. I miss that town. I miss the faces. You can't erase. You can't replace it. I miss it now. I can't believe it. So hard to stay. Too hard to leave it. I could relive those days. I know the one thing that would never change. Every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Every memory of walking out the front door. I found the photo of the friend that I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. Every time I do, it makes me
Oh, her eyes make the stars look like they're not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every every day. Yeah, I know, when I compliment her, she won't believe me. And it's so sad to think that she don't see what I see. But every time she asks me, do I look okay, I say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. Yeah. Her lips, I could kiss them all day if she'd let me. Her laugh, she hates but I think it's so sexy. She's so beautiful.
I feel the master. I feel him. Y'all ready? They ready? Well, come on. Well, come on. Y'all ready? They ready? We ready? We ready? Come on. We ready? We ready? Come on. Grand folks. Break grand folks. Break grand folks. Break grand folks. Come we ready? We ready? We ready? Come on. We ready? No question about who the best. Basing on lady track and hard to come to do the rest. Step in the way, multiple shots are going through your chest. You must have gone past the charges, boy, you was blessed. And I'ma take them out the game, y'all. It ain't no thing, y'all. You wanna buck, I rip you up like a chainsaw. The game's raw, boy, please believe it. Keep your Bible with you, 'cause you gon' be needing Jesus. Beating for chart-topping hits. And Archie ain't gon' stop dropping shit. I'ma make $1 million, then stand on the top of it. Rocking it till the day I die in this game. Archie with the back, boy, adding the fire to the flame. What's up? I'm country boy, you said something. If you're ready, why you stumbling into the flow? Huh? If you're ready, why you stuttering? I ain't Joe. I'ma show 'em why they call it dirty. There is no mercy, no player haters, 'cause he ain't worthy. Heard of me then? Hell no, but boy, I bet you done heard of me now. Atlanta, Georgia, where the dirt have been found. See, I done did this since my younger days. Only 16, but my pocket's never underage. So let's get paid, 'cause I stay ready for the keys. And you is crazy if you think that you ready for me. So who's ready now? Who's ready now? Who's ready now? Who's ready knocking down his knees, stay as crunk as can be. Who keeps it crunker than we? Nobody, that's why we come to throwing bows in the knees. See our foes and they freeze, they be some suckers at heart. We ready for what you're bringing, so we bust you apart. The busters ain't hard, stack them up, I'm knocking them down. Another cop in the ground, boy, who's stopping me now? Chopping them down, see how quick you drop to the ground. Claim to be raw, but your ball likes to knock you around. I done twisted up the game, there's a knot in the knot. And
the hell is on Joey's head? This is where I grew up. I think the president fixed it up. I never knew we ever went without. The second floor is hot for sneaking out. And this is where I went to school. Most of the time had better things to do. Criminal record says I've broken twice. I must have done it half a dozen times. I wonder if it's too late. Should I go back and try to graduate? Life's better now than it was back then. If I was them, I wouldn't let me in. Oh God, every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Every memory of walking out the front door. I found the photo of the friend that I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Remember the old arcade? Blew every dollar that we ever made. The cops seen us hanging out. They say somebody went and burned it down. We used to listen to the radio and sing along with every song we know. We said someday we'd find out how it feels to sing to more than just a steering wheel. Then Kim's the first girl I kissed. I was so nervous that I nearly missed. She's had a couple of kids since then. I haven't seen her since God knows when. Oh God, every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Every memory of walking out the front door. I found the photo of the friend that I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. I miss that sound. I miss the faces. You can't erase. You can't replace it. I miss it now. I can't believe it. So hard to stay. Too hard to leave it. If I could relive those days, I know the one thing that would never change. Every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Every memory of walking out the front door. I found the photo of the friend that I was looking for. It's hard to say it, time to say it. Goodbye, goodbye. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. Every time I do, it makes me
Oh, her eyes.
afternoon. We are here this afternoon for the Huntingtown High School annual commencement exercises. We are almost ready to begin the processional, but before we do, I would like to take this opportunity to ask for the cooperation of our audience during this afternoon's program. We have worked very hard with our class to convince them of the dignity that a commencement program should have. I think you will see the fruits of that labor in a minute. Please keep unnecessary noise to a minimum throughout the ceremony. We especially ask that there be no noisemakers, whistling, or screaming as the graduates enter the floor, cross the stage, and leave the floor. Noisemakers in the form of airboards are strictly prohibited. Anyone using an airboard will be asked to leave the arena. We know you are excited for your graduate. However, we want to make sure every graduate's name is heard when called. We also remind you that no one is allowed on the floor except
President of Tri-Music Honor Society, Secretary of the Group Alpha Theta Honor Society, Concert Mistress of the Huntingtown School Orchestra, a team leader in Mesa, captain of the tennis team, a student senate representative, and a member of the HHS National Honor Society. Cindy will begin her collegiate career in the fall at the University of Maryland College Park, studying chemical engineering. Sierra Butler is the daughter of Larry and John Butler. She is the co-president of class of 2019, a 4-year varsity track athlete, a state champion in discus, is graduating with a grade 1 average that places her in the top 5% of the class. Sierra is the president of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, president of the Student Equity Team, vice president of the Spikeball Club, a member of the Group Alpha Theta National Honor Society, Key Club, and the Project Midway program. Sierra will begin her collegiate and athletic career in the fall at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, studying electrical engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, Sierra Butler.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of our national anthem, performed by the Huntingtown High School Chamber Choir. Gentlemen, including graduates, you are reminded to remove your hats and hold them over your hearts. Colors will be presented by the Huntingtown High School NJROTC Color Guard. senior class sponsors, Ms. Tara Enright and Ms. Amy Trainer. At this time, we will hear a few words from our principal, Mr. Weber.
Again, good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Huntingtown High School's 15th commencement exercise. We're here tonight to honor students of the class of 2019. I want to extend a special welcome to our Hurricane alumni. How about giving them a round of applause? Welcome back. There's also a special guest I would like to introduce to you this afternoon. A member of this class who has had to at times fight for his life this year, and it is miraculous he is here today to be with his classmates. His determination and fighting spirit are inspiration to the entire Hurricane family. I want to welcome Michael Walford. I think Mike's behind me. Today, my role and my privilege is to share with you some of the accomplishments of this year's outstanding group of students. Some numbers. There are 343 students participating in today's ceremony. An astounding 95% of them have been on honor roll at some point in their careers. 75% of them have taken at least one advanced placement course. Many have taken many more than that. For their careers, they've taken over 1,300 advanced placement courses, one of the highest numbers we've ever had for a graduating class. 78 students have earned advanced placement scholar designation. 152 seniors are career and technology education completers. It's one of the highest numbers we've ever had. And of these 152, 134 of them are dual completers, which means they're college prep plus CTA. 76 students have earned the President's Education Excellence Award, and 48 students are designated as graduates with distinction. This award recognizes students with career GPAs of 3.9 or better. These students are identified today by a medallion. I will start with the top 5 ranked students with distinction. Those students, please stand and remain standing when I call your name. They are Abigail Johnson, Amitha Patel, Wyatt Garrett, Margaret Foltz, and the student who earned the highest grade point average in the class of 2019, Nicholas Matthews. I would like for you all to remain standing, and I invite all the students with distinction to please stand and be recognized. All 48, please stand. Congratulations on a job well done. Please be seated. The students I just introduced to you and their classmates have enabled Huntingtown for 12 straight years to be selected by Newsweek magazine and/or U.S. News and World Report as one of the nation's top high schools. In fact, this year we are again in the top 2% of approximately 40,000 U.S. high schools, and we are the top-ranked high school in Southern Maryland again. I think that deserves a round of applause. Great job, guys. Outside of the classroom, they've also been impressive. They led the way this year in winning six conference team titles, 19 individual SMAC titles, 8 team and 20 individual region titles, which is the most ever in our school history. We also captured 2 state team titles, our first this spring in boys track, and softball won its 2nd consecutive title and 5th overall this spring as well. Overall, varsity teams posted a school record winning percentage of 81% for this school year. It's a tremendous amount of success. Sure, why not? Let's applaud for that coach. The school's theater program, Eye of the Storm Productions, produced many wonderful shows, including another outstanding musical this spring, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The The Marching Hurricanes celebrated their 12th consecutive Chapter 9 Regional Championship and almost unimaginable until they actually did it. First place finish at the Tournament of Bands Atlantic Coast Championship. Our yearbook has been nationally recognized for the second time in the last 4 years. And many of the students before you are accomplished writers, artists, photographers, and speakers, winning numerous local and regional competitions. But maybe what I am most proud of is their principal. They have volunteered thousands of hours of community service through ROTC, National Honor Society, Key Club, and their teams and other school organizations. This class has won acclaim in every conceivable way. Their efforts have been rewarded with over 121 students and counting, receiving scholarship offers from over 164 schools and community organizations, totaling almost $12 million in financial aid. So hard work did pay off. This is a group of very talented, involved students of which the entire Huntingtown High School community should be proud. Students, as you pursue your future endeavors, whether it be work or additional schooling, examine what you did well and have confidence that you can use the skills that delivered you here tonight for continued success. Remember always, the results you've achieved required a lot of effort, determination, and support. There are many people who have played significant roles in making this day possible. I would like to recognize them for their contribution. First, I want to thank the faculty and staff of Huntingtown High School. I would like the members of our high school staff to please stand and be acknowledged. Thank you. Graduates, your road to excellence did not start in high school. You've been greatly influenced by your teachers, kindergarten through high school, and by youth coaches, community leaders, scoutmasters, and clergy. If you've taught, coached, or counseled any of the graduates, please stand to be acknowledged. Last and most importantly, I want to commend your families for the job they have done raising and guiding you to this moment. Families, will you please stand so we can acknowledge your contribution? On behalf of the graduates and the school community, I want to thank you so much. It's been a pleasure working with you. Seniors, I want to pass on 2 pieces of advice. First, continue to work hard. It always helps to work hard. Secondly, treat everyone you meet with respect. Follow the golden rule. Treat others as you would like to be treated. Be a nice person. It's not that hard to do, I'm telling you. Strive to be a nice person. Congratulations on your many accomplishments, and thank you so much for what you've done for the school and community. I know I speak for the entire Huntingtown High School community when I tell you we are very proud of you and wish you continued success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weber. Now, please help me welcome Ms. Dawn Belinsky, President of the Calvert County School Board, who brings you greetings from the Board of Education of Calvert County Public Schools.
Wow, what a distinguished graduating class, guys. Congratulations, and parents, thank you. I think you might have had a bit of a hand in those accomplishments. I am honored to bring greetings to you on behalf of the Board of Education. This must be a very exciting time for you. I mean, you realize that you've spent the last 12 or 13 years of your life in school. I mean, that's as long as you can remember, right? And what do your principal and loving teachers and counselors do to show appreciation for all the hard work that you've done? Well, they kick you out of their buildings. That's what they do. No, just kidding. What they do is to honor and to celebrate you here tonight. We all celebrate you here tonight with all the pomp and glory that we can muster, because we understand the importance of what you've done. We understand what a turning point this is in your life. Big changes are going to be happening for you all. The biggest difference I see between life during high school and life after besides the fact that you don't have to ask to go to the bathroom anymore, is that now you're starting down the road of making your own choices. And the choices that you begin to make once you leave here, those choices could eventually end up defining you. So you need to be careful. I mean, it's true about anything in life that if you want to make progress, if you want to get to the next level, you have to have some kind of strategy. And that means you'll need to take the time to think things through. You've probably done a lot of thinking in the last year about what next steps you'll be taking, whether it's college, the workforce, or military. And that's great. But just don't forget, in your day-to-day living as you go forward, you can't let yourself ease off that kind of thinking. Just like when we were small and we all learned to stop, look, and listen when we were at a crosswalk. Well, as adults, I've learned that a good rule of thumb is stop, think, and avoid. What are we avoiding? We're avoiding making snap decisions that could many times lead to a whole lot of heartache, regret, or embarrassment. Like speeding up to tail the jerk who cut you off on the highway. Many, many ways that could go wrong. Or choosing to ignore the ban on burning so that you could have a bonfire at that blowout party that everybody's going to. Plenty of ways for that to end badly. I don't think there's a soul in this room who can't say that they haven't made a choice that they've woefully regretted. So save yourself a lot of pain and practice stop, think, and avoid. Now, while you guys are out there wearing your thinking caps in your daily lives, I need you to start working on solving a couple of problems that my generation has left for you. First of all, could you please find a way to make college affordable so that everyone has access to equal learning? We, my generation, apparently don't have a clue how to stop the increased tuition. And while you're at it, could you also solve the student debt problem? Now that's one thing that you guys might encounter if you're choosing college. How much debt do you want to saddle yourself with? There's several tips on how to avoid those loans, like starting with community college, looking for work-study programs at your college. But for heaven's sake, keep looking for scholarships. You guys have an impressive amount of scholarships right now under your belt, but be sure to look for new scholarships every single semester. There are a ton of them out there. My daughter was majoring in journalism, and she's also an avid scuba diver. Can you believe that in her junior year, she found a scholarship for women, divers, and journalism? So there's specific things like that that you can locate. And so keep mining for those scholarships. Back to the problems that you need to solve. Next is climate change. Can you please fix that for us? I know that might take a few years. So in the meantime, if you ever get to the point where you want to buy a home, remember to buy high. Not price-wise, elevation-wise. In your own county, we're having to deal with persistent flooding in some neighborhoods due to sea level rise. And just look at the central U.S. right now, how many rivers have officially reached their highest flood levels in history. So when you're working on that climate change problem, just remember to buy high. All right, next you need to bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S., or better yet, just create some new ones on your own. What that means is that some of you need to get together in a few years and start your own companies. But what you have to do is to start those companies right here in Calvert County. And it doesn't even have to be manufacturing, it can be anything. What we need you to do is to help us expand our business base here, which would then solve one of our biggest problems, the fact that there are not that many jobs for our young people here. So if you come back to Calvert and you create the jobs here, many more young people will want to come, and then we'd actually have a fun, hip place to live, and then you can come back and be with me. And oh, by the way, those who want to get a teaching degree, why don't you come back to Calvert too? I think there might be a few of us up here who might help you be able to find a job. I could go on and on listing the challenges that are out there just waiting on you, but I need to wrap up, so there's one last thing I'd like to ask. Please help bring our country back together. We need you to teach people how to be patient with each other, how to be tolerant with new or different ideas, how to be civil with each other. If you can do that, then you will have fixed a whole host of problems in our society. The more people get along with each other, the easier your life and our lives will be. So, I'd like to thank you in advance for all this great work that you're going to be doing, solving all these big problems for us. We're really counting on you to do that. Oh, but wait, there is one more thing. You and your colleagues around the nation, other high schoolers, when compared to those who graduated before you, you guys are proving to be way more active in politics and in taking a stand on issues than students used to be. So you need to understand that each one of you has an enormous capacity to use your voice, to make a difference in what happens in this country. So get registered to vote, pay attention to what's going on, and exercise that newly acquired adult responsibility. Go vote. On behalf of the Board of Education of Calvert County, I offer hearty congratulations to the 2019 graduating class of Huntingtown High School. Have a blast out there, guys.
Thank you, Ms. Belinsky. We will now have a musical selection, Fly Away Home, performed by the Huntingtown High School Orchestra and Chorus.
Take time to notice all that I see, and after I've come so far, you know where I'll be.
I'll fly away,
Fly away home.
I'll fly away,
Fly away home. Well, life is a vision, that's how it should be. The world is a canvas, and the choices are free.
At the end of the journey, when all is complete,
They'll all wonder where I've gone, but you know where I'll be.
I'll fly away,
home.
I'll fly away,
Our dreams last forever, for all that we know. The roads come together, and that's where we'll go.
I'll fly away,
home.
I'll fly away,
Fly away home.
School District Award this year. Now, thanks, part of that goes to some of your classmates. I'm not sure if it was Ashley or Malaya or Margaret who, in one of their monthly meetings with me, suggested we needed to save some plastic in Calvert County and we needed to put bottle fillers in all of our schools. Well, we did that, and that bottle refilling station just in Huntingtown High School alone has saved, as of this date, 32,653 plastic bottles from being used. That is equal to 1,360 cases. Countywide, our students have saved what's equal to 2 tractor-trailer loads of plastic from going into the landfill or worse, into our oceans. Now, recently one of our employees was relating to me his experiences as a college athlete. I consider there might be some important lessons to be learned from that experience. I've never talked about sports and graduation. I figure those student athletes get enough recognition. But your school athletic director tells me that 62% of you have had experience in athletics and sports and unified sports during your career in high school. So it's clear that for a lot of you, it's been an important part of your growth. Now, I played football. I don't want to brag, but I was pretty famous. Not many of us get to be famous when you're in 8th grade, but we had Pop Warner football where I grew up in Fairmont, West Virginia. And my FOP Colts were going to play the undefeated Item A Black Diamonds. And the quarterback of the Item A Black Diamonds was Nick Saban. Yes, that Nick Saban, coach at Alabama. His daddy was the coach at that time, and they had been undefeated for about 3 seasons. I played end on either side of the ball. I put him on his back a couple of times. We won the game and ended their winning streak. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Well, it seems to me that college is hard enough without the demands of full-time athletics. So I sought out a number of Calvert County employees who attended college on full athletic scholarships and asked them to share what it was like. Their experiences sometimes went far beyond playing a sport. Their experiences might apply to any of you who want to enter college and get involved in band or sing or be in student government. They'll also apply to those of you who aren't heading to college and aren't sure what's next in your future. Famed UCLA basketball coach John Wooden said, "A coach's primary function should not be to make better players, but to make better people." Here are just a couple of their stories. One of our teachers was a top-flight volleyball player, and her first college lesson was quick. She told me you go from being the best in your school to trying to earn a spot while playing with everyone else who was the best in their school. And you may go from being the fastest in your school to being the middle of the pack with regard to speed at college. You may go from the tallest in your school to being not even tall enough to play the position that you've always played. She says, "My college experience taught me the importance of knowing what is important, ranking things to get them done, being responsible, pushing myself further than I had ever thought I could go. The things that were the hardest and the toughest and seemingly insurmountable were and are the things I'm most proud of earning." She asked me to share with all of you that it's okay to ask for help when you are struggling. She needed a tutor. She needed a confidant. Stress is real. College is hard. There isn't the support system that exists in high school. You have to seek it out, and it doesn't make you a lesser person for asking for it. Time management is an asset as well, and having scheduled classes around practices, being physically exhausted from the exertion on the court and the weight room, plus taking your courses, there's a reason why it's called a student athlete. College classes are tough. Add in 4 hours of court work and 2 hours in the weight room, and it's a real load. Not to mention the pain on your shoulders and your knees and your ankles. What can you do today in this moment that will make you better? It's not what you want to do, it's what you need to do, she told me. Now, one of her most interesting stories was as a bonding activity, her college team, when she was a freshman, did a ropes course. And one of the courses was to climb a 100-foot rock wall, while 3 of them were clipped together. I don't know how many of you have ever done a rock wall, but I can't imagine doing it clipped hip to hip to hip. 3 of us. She told me she was afraid of heights, and this obstacle was particularly terrifying. But adding the fact that the 3 clipped together have to climb at the same time was even more scary. She says, what I learned was that my teammates would help and not vilify. That if one of us struggles, we are all struggling. That we could trust someone else to hold the belay, which would prevent us from plummeting. That event was over 20 years ago, and it's still very clear in her mind. It was so impactful. Another one of our teachers took a little bit different pathway. He says he struggled academically in both middle school and in high school, so he did not meet the academic requirements to get into the big colleges, and he was really fast. Lots of the big schools were interested in him, but he had to go far away from his home in Maryland, all the way to a junior college in Southern California to get his academic credits back and eventually get a full scholarship to San Jose State University. Obviously, he had become a much better student. He says words like focus and consistency really meant something. At times, it was hard to balance things between workouts and team meetings and film and school and get all that done. He says that experience helped him balance his busy schedule today. He's learned to be on time and to be accountable and to be on point. The travel across the country sometimes was exhausting and difficult to keep up with his schoolwork with that travel. He says our motto was absolute loyalty. Be loyal to this team. Be loyal to your family. Be loyal to the university. Be loyal to yourself. After graduation, he worked at the Library of Congress for several years before getting into education and into coaching. Now, for those of you who will be playing sports at the next level, I'd like to make a suggestion for you for a pathway that will enable you to play the rest of your life. And that is to become a teacher and a coach. Major in science and math or world language and special education or other hard-to-fill areas, and I can pretty much guarantee you a job. For all of you, athlete or not, college or not, work or trade school, there are lots of lessons to take away from those shared experiences. Own your decisions. Commit to the work ahead for your own sake and for that of your team. Be loyal to your team and yourself. Manage your time. Be prepared to make mistakes and learn from them, and ask for help when you need it. As my old friend Nick Saban says, becoming a champion is not an easy process. It is done by focusing on what it takes to get there, not on getting there. Graduates, whatever you seek in life, I encourage you to commit to do what it takes to get there. If you do, then you will. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Curry. We will now have a musical selection, Homeward Bound, performed by seniors Joshua Calindras, John Dixonberg, Benjamin Grice, and Vincent Schiavone.
Summer ceased its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime. as my journey nears its end, and the path I'll be retracing, when I'm homeward bound again, find me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plough, set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow. In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, I'll be homeward bound again.
Thank you. Next on our program is our Graduates with Distinction representative, Amita Patel. Amita is the daughter of Arthi and Uday Patel. As the Graduate with Distinction representative for the class of 2019, she has finished high school with a grade point average of 3.9 or higher and has been selected by her fellow graduates with distinction to represent them today. Amita is graduating in the top 1% of her class. She is a 3-year member of the varsity golf team, the president of National Honor Society, holds many other leadership positions, and is an avid musician. Amita will be attending Boston College in the fall and will be studying biology and business administration. Please welcome Amita Patel. Well, we have survived the Friday Night Lights with baby powder launched in our faces, weeks of AP testing, blind referees throughout the seasons, fire drills planned on the coldest days of the year, college applications, completing assignments a minute before they're due at 12 a.m., severe cases of senioritis, and the list goes on. But hey, we survived. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Amita Patel, and I am honored to be representing Huntingtown High School's class of 2019. I would first like to thank my parents and family who have provided me with everything I could ever ask for to succeed in my endeavors. They never failed to make me smile wider than my face can handle, push me beyond my limits, and give me the encouragement to accomplish anything I set my mind to. Mom, Dad, and Akil, I am eternally grateful for your unconditional love and support. And to all of the parents and families, on behalf of the class of 2019, we thank you for being there for us through everything. You are the faces of joy in the presence of hardship, the faces of motivation in the presence of complacency, the faces of protection in the presence of peril, and the faces of love in the presence of hatred. Although we may be too stubborn to admit it sometimes, you are the reason why we are sitting in these seats today, and we cannot thank you enough for everything you do. One thing you may not know about the teachers, administration, and staff at Huntingtown High School is that they are not solely our educational instructors. They are also our support system. They are the people we turn to when we feel the world has turned against us. They are always there to listen and provide us with their infinite wisdom, inspiration, and love. So we thank the staff at Huntingtown High School for empowering us with knowledge, creativity, individuality, and the motivation that will remain in our lives throughout our journey. It is hard to believe that we are sitting in these seats, moments away from receiving our high school diplomas. I feel like it was just yesterday when we were in elementary school, standing on the brick wall because a fellow classmate got us in trouble that morning. I feel like it was just yesterday when we were going through the awkward middle school days, filled with frizzy hair, embarrassing voice cracks, and a highly questionable fashion sense. And then, high school. We walked into Huntingtown High School our freshman year with a bag full of emotions: fear, excitement, curiosity, anxiety. We sat in that auditorium with our new clothes and backpacks, listening to Mr. Weber speak with confidence and authority. And then it hit us. We were now in high school. After the first day of orientation, we came home telling our parents how confusing the hallways were, but still thinking about how cool we were to finally be in high school. Until reality struck when the seniors walked in the next day, towering over us like giants. Little did we know we would be in their shoes faster than we could snap our fingers. If there's one thing that I have learned from my peers and classmates at Huntingtown High School, it is that there is no one characteristic that defines talent. Every student sitting in front of me has a unique skill and passion that has contributed to the class of 2019 being one of the most talented and accomplished classes in the history of Huntingtown High School. This year, our Merchant Hurricanes won the Atlantic Coast Championship for the first time in the history of the school. In tennis, Tayo Tugis was the first ever state champion in men's singles and has never lost a regular season tennis match in the past 4 years. In track, Sierra Butler has won innumerable titles, has shattered countless school records, and was the state champion for women's discus last year. And we have SMAC and regional champions Joe Bannister in wrestling and Sydney Nader in tennis. Our outstanding athletics are sending Tayo Tugis, Nia Isaac, Hannah Steele, Olivia Gillick, Sierra Butler, Lexi Mann, Tori Fletcher, and Ryan Terrence to Division I schools. And not only are our sports superior, but we have some of the most brightest and well-rounded students across the country. The theater department has produced some of the finest actors: Jimmy Bartleball, Griffin King, Jack Dixonberg, Kat Oberman, Rachel Morales, Vincent Schiavone, Dylan Barber, and that's just to name a few. Madison Addick won Miss Tranquility in Calvert County for her citizenship, grace, and poise. We have a future Mozart in the room, Wyatt Garrett. Shelby Stockdale led the mock trial team to a Final Four appearance. Hannah Wilson has created 2 nationally recognized yearbooks. Alex DeLeon completed the CTA culinary program and is now a chef at Rod and Reel. Our computer bowl team won first place, led by seniors Nick Matthews and Braden Archer. Cameron Scott holds the Maryland Unified Strength and Conditioning record for a 30-second flexed arm hang. And Margaret Folks will be attending the esteemed Naval Academy, and Corrigan Raley will be attending the distinguished West Point Military Academy next year. And there are 100 other accomplishments that I could share if we had the time. Each and every one of us has a unique talent, and that is what makes our class so remarkable. But the most astonishing aspect of our class is how powerful we can be. As we enter the world beyond high school, we should make it our priority to take advantage of a beautiful gift that we have been given, a tremendous education and a clean slate to apply it. We are stepping into our future with nothing to lose and a chance to be whoever we want to be. We have the unique opportunity to learn from mistakes that we have made, build upon our experiences, and move forward to achieve our highest potential. We have some incredible memories of our high school days, but now those are only just memories. They don't define us. But what we choose to do when we leave this auditorium, now that is who we will be. We can accomplish anything we could possibly dream of, so we had better dream big. We had better dream to tackle some of the most pressing problems in our world. We are the generation that will combat global warming, provide medical care to the disease-stricken families in third world countries, devise a system to educate every child in the world, eliminate pollution, discover a way to terminate substance abuse, and effectively treat mental illness. And we will accomplish our smaller goals of spreading happiness, lending a helping hand, or even just moving a turtle out of the middle of the road. Fortunately and unfortunately, we have an infinite number of ways to create a beautiful world. Some of the most talented and innovative students are sitting here in this auditorium, and it starts with you to make a difference. It starts with one small idea or act of kindness. But it cannot grow alone. We must all contribute and work together to inspire each other to accomplish the unbelievable. Because we are young with agile minds, we bring a fresh perspective into this society where people want us. And we are free of any confinement that has challenged us in high school. So when you leave this ceremony, I urge you all to reflect upon the sheer power that each of you have, and think about what you are planning to do with that potential. Because we only get this chance once, and we had better make sure that we use every last ounce of it. We must aspire to try harder than we ever have, and be prepared to make more mistakes than we ever have. Only then will we become extraordinary. I challenge you to be creative, unique, and refrain from retreating into the security of your own box. Do not settle for anything that is comfortable. In fact, I encourage you to make yourself uncomfortable. Put yourself out there and do not shy away from failure. Embrace it. John F. Kennedy has said, "Only those who dare to fail greatly can achieve greatly." And Huntingtown High School's class of 2019 is destined to achieve greatness. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Amitha. We will now have our final musical selection, Breakaway, performed by seniors Sierra Butler and Rachel Morales.
In a small town, when the rain would fall down, I'd just stare out my window,
Dreaming of what could be, and defiant of happy.
like no one could hear me.
I wanted to belong here. Something felt so wrong here.
So I pray I could break away. I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. Take a risk, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Out of the darkness and into the sun, but I won't forget the ones that I love. Take a risk, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Da-da-dum-da-da, da-da-dum-da-da, da-da-dum-da-da-da-da.
I wanna feel the warm breeze, sleep under a palm tree,
Feel the rush of the ocean. Get on board a fast train, travel on a jet plane far away, and break away. I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. Take a risk, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Out of the darkness and into the sun, but I won't forget the ones that I love. Take a risk, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Buildings with 100 floors, swinging round the falling doors. Maybe I don't know where they'll take me, but gotta keep moving on, fly away, break away. I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly, though it's not easy to tell you goodbye. Take a risk, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Out of the darkness and into the sun, but I won't forget the place I come from. Take a risk, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Break away. Break
Thank you, Rachel and Cece. And I will now turn the mic over to Sierra Butler.
Good afternoon, class of 2019. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sierra Butler, otherwise known as Cece. And over the course of these past 4 years, I have had the privilege of being one of your class presidents. Our journeys through high school have had their shares of ups and downs, but one thing we are all excited about is that it is finally over. No more staying up till 2 or 3 a.m. to finish a Spain outline, or rushing during lunch to get Dr. Matthews' homework finished for the next period. And I would just like to give a quick shout out to Quizlet and Slater for always having my back. I'm sure we are all guilty of counting down the last days, and some of us have had a bit more senioritis than others. But now that high school is done, I can truly say that I'm going to miss all of you. As a class, we have learned together, grown together, and we have shared many memories that will last a lifetime. For example, ingesting way too much baby powder at the football games. Charles Dickens once put it, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." Graduating is bittersweet, but as we go our separate ways, I want to leave you with some words of advice. Live an intentional life. Life will move by quickly, so why not try to influence the outcome? Now, Google can answer a lot of our questions, but one thing we can't Google is our passions and what is in our hearts that lifts us up. Find what you love to do and do it every day. We are an exceptional class, and I cannot be more proud to have represented you all. Before I hand the mic over to Sydney to conclude our speech, we have a few shout-outs to some important people who have made the journey of high school just a bit more interesting.
Thank you, Cece. We would like to give a special thanks to Mr. Gross for being the most supportive, and the reason why some of our athletes may need hearing aids in the next 20 years.
Shout out to Miss Hayes for always curving our AP Physics test by 30% so that instead of F's, we get C's.
A big thank you to Dr. Matthew and Mr. Arneson for preparing us perfectly for college. You both never failed to make it clear that we had no idea what we were doing before class.
And finally, here's to Matt the trainer for riding his gator faster than any athletic trainer in the conference.
Hello, my name is Sydney Nader, and I would like to once again welcome you all to the ceremony. We have been called many things over the past 4 years. Hurricanes, H-Town, Canes, and those posh kids who have windows at their school. Now, we will be called graduates. Well, most of us. Some of you still owe the school books, uniforms, and despite all of Mr. Weber's efforts, some of you still parked in the parking lot without a parking pass. You thought you got away with it, but now it's time to answer for it. Obviously, I am kidding. I'm truly proud to be a member of the Huntingtown High School graduating class of 2019. Many of you I have known since kindergarten, many of you I have known since middle school, and many of you I met in high school. In our class, we have scholars, athletes, musicians, singers, actors, state champions, and more. We will go on to colleges, the workforce, and some will serve in our country's armed forces. Commencements bring many things. They bring smiles, they bring tears, they bring optimism, and they bring fears. What I do know is that we are prepared for our future, and many people have had a role in preparing us. Our teachers, coaches, faculty, parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, mentors, friends, to name a few. Though Huntingtown High School was founded in 2004, it has quickly become one of the best schools in the country, meaning we are one of the best graduating classes in the country. As you go off into the world, know that you are amongst the best of the best. Hold your head high and be proud of your accomplishments. The bond we share today will be one we carry with us for life. Class of 2019, I leave you with this. There is no one coming. It's up to us. It's our turn to take the reins and make the world what it should be. No one will do it for us. And finally, this quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Canes, I challenge you to be trailblazers. Don't follow the group. Lead the way. Congratulations, and thank you for 4 amazing years.
Now we come to the moment we have all been anticipating. Tonight is the culmination of our hopes, dreams, and hard work. We know that receiving our diplomas is the product of our own efforts. However, those efforts are combined with those of our families, our teachers, and our school community. We give sincere thanks to everyone who helped us along the way. The presentations of diplomas will be conducted by Dr. Daniel Curry with assistance from our Board of Education members. Ms. Kristen Bloom and Mr. Brian Mullins will read the names of the members of the senior class. Seniors, please approach the stage as directed to receive your diplomas.
At this time, I would like for the students on stage to join me at the podium. They will receive their diplomas first. Sierra Grace Butler. Sydney Elaine Nader. Amitha Uday Patel.
Stephen Ray Meadows.
Dylan Michael Barber.
Tyler Lee Meadows.
Robert Bowie Barkley Jr.
Jaden Lee Merrill.
James William Bartavall.
Veronica Lee Medham.
Nicholas Daniel Bartlett.
Justin Paul Miller.
Taylor Nicole Beach.
Catherine Rose Miller.
Amanda Louise Bean.
Faith Stefana Mitchell.
Adam James Bell.
Allison Ella Moan.
Jacob Michael Bello.
Patrick Bernard Moore.
Gabriel Charles Makulu Benny.
Rachel Alexandra Morales.
Summer Fawn Blackwell.
Drew Riley Moreland.
Connor James Bobo.
Sarah Ashley Morgan.
Darren William Ball.
Cole Brandon Morris.
Kyle Daniel Ball.
Stephen Anthony Murray Jr. Joseph Kasperzak Mozingo.
Madison Brooke Fitzgerald Bowen.
Carter Victoria Mulvihill.
Nicole Kaylee Bowen.
Jacob Stephen Munoz.
Malik Devin Bowen.
Joseph Adrian Murray.
Melanie Elise Bose.
Keaton Elizabeth Neal.
Shania JoJo Gracie.
Christopher Tyrell Nelson.
Hunter Christian Gray.
Balan Yehut Wynn.
Michael Antonio Brickus Jr.
Hannah Marie Nemez.
Meredith Nicole Brasovsky.
Richard Michael Nixon III.
Carissa Rua Brown.
William Nicholas Noble.
Olivia Roxanne Ryan.
Harley Vincent Noel.
Emily Marie Buffalo.
Jillian Lorene O'Connor.
Jaden Devon Bundy.
Kevin Michael Odell.
James Patrick Bunn.
Seamus Kevin O'Hara.
John William Bunting III.
Gracie Catriel Oberman.
Jonathan Curtis Burry.
Mark Daniel Aller.
Joshua Taylor Kaladi.
April Christine Ortega.
Megan Elizabeth Callahan.
Gabriel Thomas Ortiz.
Aileen Marie Campbell.
Kyle Anthony Osborne.
Alexander Beniamino Canelia.
Brianna Willow Overley.
Zane Alexander Carey.
Jordan Starr Kathleen Patty.
Erin Elizabeth Carista.
Caitlin Jade Polensky.
Joshua Carmen Carrillo.
Sarah Elizabeth Pardick.
Robert Manny Chapman III.
Sean J. Hune Park.
Augustine Anthony Chardiello.
Kelly Marie Pate.
Easton Robert Joseph Suppressi.
Kayleann Rose Peak.
Shakita Renee Claggett.
Jacob Warren Percival.
Shauna Marie Clark.
Nicholas Charles Hutcherson Perry.
Maya Colin Kobe.
Rosalind Catherine Perry.
Robert Francis Coggins.
Maura Ann Masagno.
Dylan Christopher Coker.
Joshua Alexander Petkovic.
Kyle Joseph Coker.
Lucas Helmut Falls.
Joshua Ephraim Calindras.
Kevin Wayne Phelps.
Juliana Douglas Cooley.
Kylie Marie Phipps.
Dakota Skylar Cran.
Abigail Letty Pike.
Morgan Taylor Grossman.
Kirsten Tamara Plater.
Alexander Tyler
Justin Robert Poissant.
Thomas Edward Dalrymple.
Grace Lauren Pamela.
Shane Allen Doherty.
Ethan Michael Poor.
Madison Lee Davern.
Jamie Michaela Pope.
Jaden Sierra Davis.
Hannah Elizabeth Powell.
Rachel Elizabeth Davis.
Matthew Levin Pritchett.
Haley Marie Dawson.
Ralph George Proctor IV.
Nicholas Kane DeSeris.
Emily Jade Prosper.
Declan Dowler Deer.
Kyle Raymond Patak.
Matteo Giuseppe DiGennaro.
Corrigan Paige Rayleigh.
Deanna Yanitza Delgado Campbell.
Alexis Marie Redding.
Cassandra Elizabeth Domino.
Nicholas Aiden Reynolds.
Hunter Andrew Dempster.
Janelle Rosemary Ridgewell.
Mary Grace Teresa DiStefano.
Morgan Faye Roberts.
Ethan Lewis Devereaux.
Jocelyn Yvonne Rodriguez.
David Scott DeVere Jr.
Gabriela Cristina Rodriguez Velez.
James Ryan Dickens.
Christopher James Romero.
John Leo Dixon Burke.
Taylor Lynn Router.
Grace Adeline Dimmick.
Laura Ann Roy.
Vincenzo Ray Dodato.
Cyrus Lorenzo Acentos.
Brandon Arthur Dupton.
Natalie Kate Sasser.
Celeste Paige Duran.
Jenalyn Noel Soul.
Parker Llewellyn Dyer.
Robert Allen Salton.
Trayton Jarrell Easton.
Robin Melissa Shear.
Donovan Reese Evans.
Vincent Anthony Schiavone.
Check Fall.
Cameron Marcellus Scott.
Owen Patrick Flanagan.
Travis Wayne Schaefer.
Victoria Ann Fletcher.
Sydney Brooke Shapiro.
Ian Fokum.
Gina Elise Shihai.
Justin Joseph Foreman.
Sadie Lene Shabandi.
Margaret Rose Foltz.
Jessica Michelle Shoemaker.
Michael Welton Fowler II.
Justin Michael Seal.
Austin Lee Fowler.
Tadra Sierra Sims.
Samantha Nicole Fowler.
Jacob Maurice Smith IV.
Danielle Michaela Fry.
Gabriella Lynette Smith.
Molly Catherine Gall.
Jasper Gregory Smith.
Floyd Gow.
Malia Lene Smith.
Diana Grace Gardner.
Suzanne Amber Smith.
Wyatt Joseph Garrett.
Frederick August Naviot III.
Haley Elizabeth Gates.
Caden Bryant Speaks.
Caitlin Emma Gay.
Sydney Alexandra Spence Cockrell.
Olivia Jordan Gillett.
Haley Addison Stallard.
Jordan Alexander Gagne.
Ashley Marie Stanzel.
Mary Margaret Gorman.
Hannah Catherine Steele.
Catherine Leanne Goucher.
Aaliyah Juanita Sade Stenson.
Elizabeth Kimberly Green.
Talmadge Todd Stewart.
Frankie Edward Griever Jr.
Abigail Reese Stickle.
Monica Nicole Gregory.
Nick Joseph Stetzel.
Benjamin Joseph Bryce.
Shelby Rose Stogdale.
Aaron Morgan Gross.
Shannon Renee Stoneburner.
Torin Mamet Gerbuz.
Joseph Michael Strachan.
Hunter Christopher Hagan.
Abigail Elizabeth Strauss.
Emily May Paul.
Haley Marie Strong.
Kelsey Jean Hallway.
Gavin Michael Studs.
Dylan Nicholas Hampshire.
Adam Perry Sullivan.
Thomas Lee Harris.
Justin Allen Summers.
Karina Maris Harwell.
Hannah Ann Swank.
Richard Eric Hassel II.
Babak Sebastian Talebi.
Skylar Jean Powell.
Ryan Charles Terrence.
Daniel Raymond Pinkelman.
Jessica Renee Terrell.
Stephen James Hayes.
Macy Jean Thomas.
William Douglas Higgs.
Emily Grace Ptolemy.
Alexis Karen Hill.
Melissa Catherine Torrey.
Zachary William Hill.
Tayo David Tugas.
Alyssa Denise Hodges.
Hannah Dakota Tucker.
Eva Josephine Hetfline Sermon.
Haley Dakota Tucker.
Dylan Edwin Hutchins.
Spencer Dean Turner.
Mia Tracy Isaac.
Ashley Michelle Unger.
Kasha Brienne Ivner.
Stephen Michael Walgren.
Shelby Brianna Ivy.
Nabukiwal Bruce Walker Jr.
Trinity Ocean Jacobs.
Jacob James Walls.
Abigail Juanita Johnson.
Tomas Patrick Walsh.
Samantha Joe Johnson.
Bryce Gardner Want.
Ahmad Ashby Jones.
Sierra Gloria Ward.
Alina Renee Jones.
Trent David Watson.
Barrett Leanne McCrae Jones.
Caitlin Nicole Weaver.
Braxton Jalen Jones.
Reagan Keeley White.
Hayden Bratcher Jones.
Sarah Jocelyn Whiteman.
Jenna Carolyn Jones.
DeMonte Terrell Williams.
Ruby Nicole Jones.
Genevieve Kaylee Williams.
Faith Elizabeth Pachurak.
Seth Allen Williams.
Weston George Curley.
Blaine Damon Willoughby.
Rachel Marie Higgins.
Hannah Brooke Wilson.
Carter Jack Kimball.
Taylor Ann Wilson.
Griffin Tiber King.
Kevin Ayers Winters.
Benjamin Michael Knight.
Trenton Joel Wong.
James Michael Mackenzie Coppers.
Thomas Patrick Woodburn.
Cody Daniel Corti.
Carlene Page Woolsey.
Sydney Page Kota.
Rebecca Catherine Yoder.
Alex Mason Kramer.
Jessica Marie Yost.
Kayla Rose Kramer.
Anthony Charles Young.
David Troy Kreitzer.
Tristan Thomas Seringer.
John William Krell IV.
Joseph Stephen Zwilak.
Paul Ray Pretzing.
Madison James Eagle.
Carter Andrew Kuntz.
Megan Christine Ziegel.
Samuel David Kutz.
Sammy Jean Ziegler.
Haley Bell Lajamanier.
Maggie Ann Zentner.
Clayton Dean Lambert. Colton Thomas Lambert. Brandon Lee Lockwillow. Bailey Elizabeth Lauer. Carissa Ann Lauer. Matthew David LaRue. Evan Dean Lively. Melvin Locke. Reed Elizabeth Lucas.
It is my pleasure to certify that all members of the graduating class of 2019 standing before me have met all requirements for a Maryland High School diploma. You may now turn your tassels. Thank you, family, friends, and special guests for coming and making this a most memorable and special occasion tonight. Please stand and remain in your seating area while the class of 2019 leaves the arena. Thank you.